Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So today we are doing is solving equations. Solving equations. So basically we are doing 11.1. We are doing is 11.1, solving equations. So basically you will be given two equations. Suppose like you're given, it could be anything. I'm taking as first as 2x plus 3y is equal to 1, minus x plus y is equal to negative 3. You are given these two equations. You have to solve them. You have to solve these equations. What do they mean by solving is you have to find the value of x and y. You have to find the value of x and y such that when you plug the value of x and y, the same x and y, when you plug in the first equation, it should come out to be equal to 1, and the same xy, if you plug in the second equation, it should come out to be equal to negative 3. So I again repeat. So today what we are doing is we are trying to solve equations. You will be given two equations. You have to solve them. So you will find the value of x and y. When you plug that value of x and y in the first equation, it will come out to be equal to 1. Same x and y, when you put in the second equation, it will come out to be equal to negative 3. Now there are two methods to do it. There are two methods to do this. Okay, let me see if they have steps written here. I don't want to get. Okay, first method we are doing is known as substitution method. So today we're gonna do two methods: substitution method and addition method. But right now, first I'm gonna do is substitution method. Okay, they don't have steps here. So if you want to write the steps for substitution method, the steps are is steps here. Yes, so first we are gonna do is substitution method. So if you want to write the steps, this is not in your book, guys. If you want to make a note for yourself, this is very important here. So make sure you write the steps here. The step 1 is for substitution method is solve either of the equations for one variable in terms of the other. So it says solve either of the equation for one variable in terms of the other. If you don't understand my writing, let me know, but this is not in your book, so make sure you make this note. Next thing is substitute the expression found in step 1 into the other equation. Step third. Step third is solve the equation containing one. If you don't understand my handwriting, please ask me. One variable. Step 4 is back substitute the value found in step 3 into one of the original equations. Step 5 is check. Step 5 is check. So these are the methods here. So first one says solve either of the equations for one variable in terms of the other. Second one says substitute the expression found in step 1 into the other equation. Step 3 says solve the equation containing one variable. Step 4 says back substitute the value found in step 3 into one of the original equations. Step 5 is check. Okay, let's do this problem here. Let's do this problem. Have Eduardo. Eduardo.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eduardo, we have to solve this equation. This is given to me. I'm numbering my equation first as number 1 and this as number 2. Okay. First step says solve either of the equation for one variable in terms of the other. Which equation you want to take?
We'll take the top one and use it. You take the first one and we'll use it on the second.
And you want the first one, right?
Yeah.
So let's take the first one. So you have 2x. So he's considering consider equation 1. So we are saying 2x plus 3y is equal to 1. And it says solve either of the equation for one variable. What are the variables in this equation, Eduardo?
X and Y.
X and y. What do you want to solve for? X or y?
We'll solve for X.
You want to solve for x. And how do you solve for x?
Don't we take off the wires? So in order to find X.
Yeah, so how do I do it? How do I isolate x? I need to isolate x. How do I do it? You know how to do it?
I'm sorry.
And what do you know how to do it or no?
Don't we replace the Y as an X somehow?
No, yeah, but later. First, you need to isolate x. How do you isolate x? I need x on one side, everything else on the other side.
So you bring the Y over.
Yeah, so how do I do it?
I 3Y.
Yeah, subtract 3y. So you get 2x is equal to 1 minus 3y. Then
we try to divide that by 2.
correct, absolutely.
And have
correct.
X by itself.
Yeah, so you get x is equal to 1 minus 3y over 2. This is correct. What you did in step 1, this is correct. But this is not wrong. You'll still get the correct answer. But in generally, I would suggest you to take, when you're choosing the equation, which equation to use for the step 1. I would suggest you to choose an equation which has either the coefficient in front of it as 1 or negative 1. So here y has coefficient as 1. Here x has as negative 1. I would suggest you to use an equation which has coefficient as 1 or negative 1. This way you're not dealing with fractions. Otherwise you're going to deal with fractions. Okay. So this is my step 1. So okay, Eduardo, step 2. Step 2, substitute the expression found in step 1 into the other equation. Everybody, I want you to underline this word, other equation. So whatever you found in step 1, whatever equation you chose in step 1, you're going to substitute in the other equation, not the same equation. So I considered equation 1. I found this thing. Now I'm going to substitute whatever I found in the first equation by step 1. I'm going to substitute in the second equation. So basically, step 2. Substitute equation found in step 1 in equation 2 because I considered equation 1. So I substitute. I have minus x plus y is equal to negative 3. I had this thing. And I know x is equal to this thing. So wherever I see x in the equation here, I'm going to substitute it with 1 minus 3y over 2 plus y is equal to negative 3. Now step 3 says solve the equation containing one variable. Note, now it is one variable only, y. There's only one variable. I need to solve for y. Okay, Eduardo, help me solve for y.
Uh,
When I open the bracket, what do you get when you distribute the negative sign?
yes, that'll be negative 1 minus 3y over 2.
Negative 1 plus 3y. It changes the sign. Okay, the negative sign will change the sign. This was positive, this will become negative, this was negative, this will become positive. But denominator will remain as it is. Then you had plus y is equal to negative 3. Then how do I solve?
Don't we bring the y over in order so we can multiply it?
So we have to make the common base. I cannot add till the time I make common base. What's the base right now here, Eduardo?
Y. 1y.
1. Y over 1. How do I make it 2?
We multiply it by 2 in order to get the common denominator.
Yes, and you multiply the numerator also with 2. You get y minus 1 plus 3y plus 2y over 2 is equal to negative 3. Now I have whole divided by 2. How do I get rid of this 2?
We multiply it by 2, and we also multiply the other side by 2.
Okay, so this and this cancels. You're left with negative 1, and I combine these two. I get 5y is equal to negative 6. Now I have to solve for y. What do I do?
Then we bring the negative 1 over.
So how do I do it? How do I take this over here, this side?
We take the negative 1 over to the 6.
And how do I do that?
That'll be positive 1, and then the other one will be also positive 1.
So 5y is equal to negative 5. And then
we divide 5 by the negative 5, which will give us y equals negative 1.
Correct. So you'll get your equation as y is equal to negative 1. Now so basically we did it. We solved it. We're done step 3 also here. We're done step 3 also here. Solved and find the value of the one variable. Step 4 says substitute the value you found in any of the original equations. Which one you want to substitute? 1 or 2?
We'll substitute the first one.
You want to substitute in the first one. So your first one was 2x plus 3y is equal to 1. He wants to substitute y as negative 1 in this equation. So you get 2x plus 3 times negative 1 is equal to 1. When I solve, what do you get, Eduardo?
Yeah. I'm still writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
It will be 2. X equals 2.
Okay, so how did you do it? 2x, this 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 is equal to 1. Then you added 3 on both sides. You got 2x is equal to 4 divided by 2. You got x is equal to 2. Correct. So you got your answer as 2, negative 1. First you write x and then the y. Basically you got your answer. But you can always check your answer. How do you check your answer is put the value you found, x and y value you found in both the equations, original equations. So you had 2x plus 3y is equal to 1 as first equation, and then you had minus x plus y is equal to negative 3. These were the two equations. Substitute the value of x and y here, the value you found right now, and check. When I substitute here 2, what do you get here? 3 times negative 1. It should come out to be equal to 1. Let's check. I don't know, so I'm putting a question mark. You get 4 minus 3. 1 is equal to 1. This is true. So that means so far I'm doing good. Whatever I found is correct. Let's put it in here. So you get negative 2, negative 1 is equal to negative 3. Negative 3 is equal to negative 3. That's also true. Since both of them are true, that means whatever I found is my answer, because it satisfies both the equations. Anyone has any questions with this method here? Substitution. Okay, we'll do one more problem on this. Is anyone still copying or everyone done? Everybody done. So I want everyone to do this question is, so you have to solve these equations. So you have 2x plus y is equal to negative 1, and then you have negative 4x plus 6y is equal to 42. You have these two equations. Carly, Jelena,
Yes.
yes, Jelena. So we need to solve these equations. I number them first, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Which equation you want to consider?
I want to use the first equation.
Is there any particular reason you're choosing first equation?
I'm choosing it because y has a coefficient of 1.
Perfect. Absolutely
and
correct.
it seems easier to use.
Exactly correct. You will always, I would suggest, it just makes your calculation much more easier because you will not be dealing with fractions. Always consider equation which has coefficient as 1 or negative 1. Okay, she's choosing, consider equation 1, and it was 2x plus y is equal to negative 1. And you said you're going to solve for y. How do you solve for y?
I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides.
Correct.
So I will have y equals 1 minus 2x.
Negative 1 minus 2x.
Yes, negative 1 minus.
Yeah. So you got this thing. Absolutely correct. What's your step 2?
My step 2 is that I'm going to plug in negative 1 minus 2x in the second equation. So it'll become negative 4x plus 6 times negative 1 minus 2x equals 42.
When you solve, what do you get, Shalina?
Negative 4x equals negative 6. Minus 6. Minus 12x equals 42. Yes. And then we're going to add 6 to both sides. Negative 4x minus 12x equals 48. And now we're going to combine like terms. So it'll become negative 16x equals 48. And we're going to divide both sides by negative 16. We're going to get x equals negative 3.
Absolutely correct. What's my step 3?
Step 3 is to plug in the x
In where?
into one of the other equations.
So which one you want to substitute, first or second?
going to do the first one again.
Perfect. It just looks easier.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. So you get 2 times negative 3 plus y as negative 1.
I would get negative 6 plus y equals negative 1. Then we would add 6 to both sides. Y equals 5.
That's your answer, negative 3 and 5. Really good, Jelena. I mean, you can always check. I would suggest everyone to check by substituting these values in the original equations, and that's how you do this substitution method. Any questions, anyone? Substitution method.
You said this was the first method?
Yeah, this is the first method.
Okay.
After this, I'm going to the next method, but make sure you understand this method. Anyone has any questions or want me to do one more problem on this? So next method is known as addition method. Next method is known as elimination. In your book it is known as elimination. Usually it is known as addition method also. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Addition method and elimination method. Again I'm writing the steps. Make sure you write the steps for yourself. It's not in your book. The steps are not given in your book. Okay. So first step is if necessary, okay, rewrite both equations in the form ax plus by is equal to c. So you have to write it in the form ax plus by is equal to c. First the x term, then the y term is equal to constant. So first the x1, then the y1 is equal to constant. In this question, it really makes a big difference how you are writing it. Okay. Step 2 is if necessary, multiply either equations. So you can multiply one of the equations or both of the equations by a non-zero number such that, so you're going to multiply either one equation or both the equations. You can multiply with any number you want except 0. Any number you can multiply with except 0, but you have to do in such a way such that either the sum of x coefficients is 0 or the sum of y coefficients is 0. So basically in step 2 what are we trying to do is we're going to multiply the whole equation, both of the equations or one equation in such a way. If I add those both equations, if I add the x variables, either x variables should be come out to be 0 or y variables should come out to be equal to 0. Don't worry, this is the only tricky part here, but I'll try to make it easy as possible when we are doing a question. Next thing says add the equations in step 2. Step 4 says solve the equation. Step 5 says back substitute the value found in step 4 into either of the given equations. Step 6 is check. Very easy method. This is also one of the very easy methods. Karen?
Yes.
Okay, Karen. So let's see here. I'm gonna take equations as let me take from this one. So you have here 2x plus 3y is equal to 1 as first equation. Then you have negative x plus y is equal to negative 3 as your second equation. First step says rewrite the equation in the form ax plus by is equal to c. So Karen, is my first equation in the form ax plus by is equal to c?
Yes.
What about the second equation?
Yes.
Yes. I should have x term, then the y term is equal to constant. Always like this. And in this equation, they're already in this form. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Step 2 says, if necessary, so first what you have to do is, in your mind, I would suggest you what to think is which one I want to eliminate, which variable I want to eliminate. You want to eliminate x or you want to eliminate y? You decide. Karen.
X.
Okay, you are saying you want to eliminate x. So these were your two equations. What's the coefficient of x here?
1.
Here, in the first equation.
0.
2. And what about the second one?
0.
Negative 1. So it's negative.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So negative 1. So basically 1 has 2, 1 has negative 1. How you can eliminate is you want to make both of them the same number but with opposite signs. Like I want both of them either to be 4, negative 4, 5, negative 5. I want something like this. One should be positive, one should be negative, but the same number. Now,
Multiply the first one with negative 1 and the second with 2.
okay. You're saying second one with 2. Correct, right? If I multiply second one with 2, what does this become?
Negative 2x.
Negative 2x. And I already have 2x here, right? So I don't have to multiply. I need one as 2, one as negative 2. So first equation I don't have to multiply with anything because it already has 2x. Are you getting my point? So first one remains as it is. But when you multiply the second one with all of them, what do you get?
Negative 2x plus 2y equals to negative 6.
Absolutely correct. She wanted to eliminate x, everyone. So what she's trying to make is, she said, oh, this is 2. This is negative 1. I can make this as negative 2. I want to make the same number with opposite signs. So basically she's just multiplying this with 2. And she got this thing. Next step says add these. When I add these, what do we get? What is 2x negative 2x?
0.
0. So they cancel. What is 3y minus 2y? Oh, 3y plus 2y.
5.
5y. What is 1 negative 6?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. And then how do I solve for y?
And y is negative 1.
Yeah, divide by 5 both sides, you get y as negative 1. Absolutely correct. Once you got the value, you have to back substitute. Which equation you want to substitute this?
And the second.
Okay, you want to substitute in the second one. Let's see here. So you had minus x plus y as negative 3. And you're putting negative 1. So you get negative x negative 1 as negative 3. What do you get the x value? Can you tell me, Karen?
Negative x equals to negative 2 and x equals to 2.
Correct. So your answer is 2 negative 1. And you can always check. I want everyone to try this problem by themselves right now. So you have given 5x minus y is equal to 21, and then 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 12. Just a second. Let's see. Solve this by elimination method. Solve this by elimination method. Shaira?
Yes.
Yeah, Shaira. Can you help me with this problem? Is it in standard
Sorry, I'm still
form?
writing it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so the first one has a negative. Do I have to change that into a positive?
Okay, wait. Let's see. Which, first of all, is it in standard form? Okay.
The second one is, the first one has a negative in it, but I don't know if that has anything to do with anything.
Nothing. You just have to make sure x is first, y is second, and is equal to constant. That's all you have to
Okay.
see.
Then yes, they're good.
They're good. Okay, perfect. Next thing is which one you're trying to eliminate, x or y?
I'll eliminate y for this one.
Okay, you are eliminating y. Okay, what should I multiply with the first equation?
I'll multiply it by 3.
Okay, what about second one?
Do we have to multiply with for both equations, or can we just do one?
You can do just one. Yes.
Can I just do one for this one?
Yes, perfect. When you do it, what do you get?
Sorry, hold on. I'm still writing it down.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. It's okay.
15x minus 3y equals 63. Okay. 2x plus 3y equals negative 12. That 17x equals did I do that right?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. No, you're absolutely correct.
Okay, so 17x equals 51?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like doubting myself. I do that all the time.
You're doing absolutely correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then we divide 17 to the other side too. And you get x equals 3.
Correct. And how do I find y?
We substitute this into the other equation.
Which equation you want to substitute? 1 or 2?
I'll do 2, I guess.
You want to do 2. So it becomes 2 times 3 plus 3y is equal to negative 12.
6 plus 3y equals 12. Y equals... It's negative 12, right?
Yeah, it's negative 12, yes.
Oh, okay. So negative 12. Negative 18 divided 3. Y equals negative... Is it 3 and negative 9? Wait, 19.
6.
No. What am I saying? 3. Six.
Yeah. So you get
negative
3
6.
3 and
It's
negative
y equals negative 6.
Absolutely correct. And the answer is 3 and
3 negative 6.
Absolutely correct. Really good. Really good, Shara. Any questions, anyone, with these two methods? So basically, so far we have done 2 methods. Next lecture, we'll be doing the third method also. So make sure you know these 2 methods. You will definitely get in your final exam, okay, in your this exam, the next exam on this chapter also, 2 questions on these things which will be worth 5 and 5. So 10 worth 10 is directly in your hand if you know these 2 methods. Okay, I want you to solve, okay, one more problem is, it says, solve 2x plus y is equal to 5. And 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. They just say solve. No matter which method you want to do, it's up to you. You have to decide which method you want to do. Samantha?
Yes.
Okay. You have to solve these equations. Which method do you want to use? Substitution or elimination?
Elimination, because it's
Okay.
my favorite.
So that's, yeah, I would choose that too. So that's a good choice. So is it in standard form?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
What should I multiply the first equation with, and what should I multiply the second equation with?
I'm gonna choose the first equation.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna alter it. So I'm gonna multiply times -2.
-2. Okay, perfect.
Yes, I can get -2y.
Okay, perfect. You're trying to eliminate y. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so you get -4x, and then you get -2y equals -10.
Okay, perfect. And then second equation, you just had 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. Correct?
Mhm.
When you,
And they actually eliminate themselves for x and y.
so what are you left with this side?
You're left with 0.
Okay, 0 is equal to,
-2.
absolutely correct. So here, everybody make a note here. See here. So when you are doing a problem like this, and you reach a point where you're getting something like this, 0 is equal to -2, which is false. This is not true. This is false. 0 is not equal to -2. That's wrong. That means your direct answer is no solution. Your direct answer is no solution. So there is no value of x and y which you put, you will get equal to 5, and the same if you put here, you will get equal to 8. There is no such value. So directly you can say it is no solution. This is also, no solution is also known as inconsistent. No solution is also known as inconsistent. Really good, Samantha. I want everyone to do this problem. You have 2x plus y is equal to 4. Then you have -6x, -3y is equal to -2. First equation, second equation. Angel? Christopher?
Yeah, I'm here.
So yes, Christopher. Which method do you want to use?
We'll use elimination.
Okay. How do you use it? Which is it in standard form?
Yes.
Okay. So which variable are you trying to eliminate?
It's the same thing. If you multiply the top by 3,
Okay.
then the x and y eliminate each other.
So let's see, what does it become? It becomes 6x plus 3y is equal to what? 6x plus 3y equal to
12.
12. And then you had -6x.
Or it eliminates everything, actually.
It eliminates. So when I add
0
them,
equals 0.
you get 0 is equal to
0 equals 0.
0 equal to 0. Note in this case, you are getting true answer. This is true. 0 is equal to 0. In previous, you're getting something as 0 is equal to -2, which is false. So that means there is no solution, inconsistent. Okay, but in this case, you're getting true. When you get something like this, 0 and 0, which is true, then that means there are infinitely many solutions. There are infinitely many solutions. This is also known as dependent equations. They're known as dependent equations. Infinitely many solutions or dependent equations. Any questions, anyone? Let's do one more problem here. I want everybody to do these problems. These are the last problem for today. So you have first problem as 2x plus y is equal to 1, and then 4x plus 2y is equal to 3. And then your second problem you are doing is x plus 2y is equal to 4, 2x plus 4y is equal to 8. I want you to do these two problems right now by yourself. Use any method you want. Joshua?
Yeah.
Okay, Joshua. First problem. Is it in standard form?
Yes.
Okay. Which variable are you trying to eliminate?
I'm trying to eliminate x, so I multiply the top equation by -2.
Okay, when you do it, what do you get?
-4x minus 2y equals -2.
Okay, and then?
They cross out, so the 0 equals to -2. -2. 0 equals, would be 0 equals to 1.
1. Is it false or true?
False.
What happens when it's false?
There's no solution.
No solution, or what do you call it?
Not possible.
Inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes in the question they may say inconsistent also. That means no solution. Every other solution is consistent, but this one specifically, when you get something as false, that is inconsistent. Really good, Joshua. Gerald? Gerald? Daniel? And Wandai?
Hello.
Hi, and Wandai. So
I'm gonna do
Mhm.
the elimination method.
Oh, everybody loves elimination method. Okay.
It's way easier. Substitutions.
I
confusing.
agree.
So I was gonna do the first one. So I'm eliminating 4y. Wait, yeah, 4y. So I'm gonna multiply the first one by -2.
Absolutely correct.
So it'll be -2x minus 4y equals -8. And then it'll be 2x plus 4y equals 8. They all cancel out. It'll be 0 equals 0. And it'll be infinitely. Yeah, independent equations. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Dependent
Dependent.
equations. True.
Solutions. And then, or you call it dependent equations. Absolutely correct on one line. What is here? Alejandro here. Axel is here. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Anyone? So basically, we did two. Yeah.
Is there going to be like certain problems where we can only use like one method?
No.
Like
So
which
unless a question says specifies, okay, use substitution method, then you have to use just substitution method. Or elimination method, then you have to just use elimination method. But if it does not say, just say solve, then you can use any method you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question, anyone, with today's lecture? Okay. So that's it for today. But you will have from now. So now this week you will not have. Tomorrow there is no class for sure. And this week you will have no lecture. Your next lecture will be on Monday, next Monday. Your next lecture will be on next Monday. So this week you have no class. There's no class tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Next class is on Monday. And then we are only left with 3 more sections of chapter 11 only. We are not doing chapter 12. So you will have tests of 10 and 11 next week, next week or next week. We'll see if I finish it next week. Any questions, anyone?